Since Donovan Mitchell is at the center of the New York Knicks universe right now, the center of every single Knicks headline, I figured we should take some time and look into the man who is Donovan Mitchell. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the story of Donovan Mitchell. Coming up next, right here on Riding with the Knicks. Welcome back to Riding with the Knicks. It's another beautiful Friday here in Northeast Ohio. I hope that you are having a great day. I hope that you're enjoying your Friday. This is the channel that we talk about the team that we love, the New York Knicks, the season as it unfolds, and the deeper themes that we can pull out of the game and apply to our lives to be the best versions of ourselves. And listen, these are the videos that I love to make because we're going to look at the life of one of the players in the NBA, hopefully a player that's going to be on our team, and learn something from him. You know what? Like, the channel is about pulling out the themes of the game that we can apply to ourselves to be the best versions of us. And so listen, we're going to learn something from the man Donovan Mitchell today. We're going to be inspired by the man Donovan Mitchell today. And hopefully this is a guy that's going to join the New York Knicks team and help our franchise grow. And so if you are into this, if you like this channel, if you like this video, I'm asking you, please do me a solid, hit that subscribe button. It does not take a lot for you to do. You just hit it. But for me, on this side of the camera, it just means the world. And so in the last couple of videos, we're getting on average about 200 to 300 views are coming from subscribers. Now, I only have 800 and something subscribers, but we're about to hit 1,000 before the season starts, and I need you to help me do that. So to the 200 to 300 of you that are already subscribed and are watching this video, thank you so much. That means a ton to me. And if you just hit subscribe right now, you're part of the family. I want to learn from you too, so drop comments down below. I engage with every single comment, and I can't wait to talk to you down there. Let's get into Donovan Mitchell's story right away. This is a guy that was born in 1996 in the suburbs of New York City. Come on now, he's already got that New York City in his bones, in his blood. He grew up in the suburbs of New York City, and as a kid, his first love was actually baseball. His dad played for a minor league team and eventually took a job as the head of player relations with the Mets. Donovan Mitchell's a huge Mets fan. You saw him recently throwing out the first pitch with the Mets. For all you Yankees fans out there, it's all good. We're not talking about that right now. It's all good. We're just happy that Donovan Mitchell's got roots that not only tie back to the city, but tie back to a sports team in the city as well. That's awesome. But his first love was baseball. Even it ties into his number choice in the NBA. His number is 45, and that's the number that Jordan had on the Bulls after baseball, I think, maybe for 1 year there. But it definitely was the number that Jordan had when he played in the MLB. So that's kind of a cool baseball-basketball connection there. As a young man, he went to some fancy prep schools, but while he was there, he became the class president for one of his schools. He played drums. He was in the marching bands. He was in some, I think he was even in the band for some school plays. This is a good young man who was engaged in his school, engaged in the sports. But one thing happened to him. He eventually became injured. He was pitching. He was a pitcher for his baseball team. And he broke his wrist trying to go for a pop fly. And after that injury, he had to choose, really, which direction to go. And so he went all in on basketball. I'm glad he did. I bet you're glad he did. I know some people out in Utah are glad he did, but they're going to be sad that he did soon because I think he's moving on, hopefully to the Knicks. But that injury made him go all basketball. And then since that decision happened to go all basketball a little later in his life compared to other people, I think it started to birth this thing in him where he was kind of like behind. And that's going to be a theme. I always want to talk about the deeper themes that we can apply to our lives to be the better version of ourselves in these videos. That theme of being behind, wait for that, okay? That's coming up later in the video. But this kind of theme of being behind. He ended up going and playing for Louisville. He played for Rick Pitino, who's got Knicks ties as well. And then he was eventually drafted in 2017 with the 13th pick. He was picked by the by the Nuggets and then traded to Utah. He went on now, I think he's a 3-time All-Star. He won the 2018 Slam Dunk Contest. He had a lot of buzz around him for Rookie of the Year. And I think the thing that I love about this guy the most is that he's not a superstar. I hear that being thrown around right now as like the indictment that the Knicks organization would even consider spending all this equity, if you would, draft assets and young talent on someone who's not even a superstar. But you know what? Do we want some of these like super self-righteous, like super empowered superstars who can just move around from team to team whenever they want, who can come in, gut an organization, and when they get over it, they just move on? I don't. I'd rather a young all-star who's got the potential to be a superstar but has been behind his whole life, and so he's got some kind of dog in him, some grit and some grind, who's got some DNA from New York City that can actually help him thrive in this environment. So let's talk about, what do I mean by behind? I think that it has created a perspective and a hustle in this kid that everything wasn't handed to him. I'm not saying everything was handed to these other players. Every single player in the league is unique, is special, had to overcome many obstacles to even get there. I'm not slighting anybody in the league. But what I'm saying is that in a 2016 interview, so this is before he was drafted, interview with him, he was saying things like, I'm the kind of guy that outworks everybody. He was saying things like, I enjoy being an underdog. I enjoy being underrated. He was talking about, since guys didn't, like, he started playing the national, sort of like getting some national attention, he said a lot of times he'd get on the court and guys didn't know him ahead of time. He didn't have this huge buzz around him. And so he thrived in that environment because he was able to basically catch everybody on their heels. Nobody's on their heels now. We know who the guy is, but he's still got that energy about him that's like, I thrive as being the underdog. I thrive as being counted out. Another thing happened, he said in this interview, he said, whenever there's like coaches that are screaming at you or like lots of noise around you, he said, I found that it's helpful to focus more on the message that's being shared than the delivery of the message, than how it's being shared. Man, if that is not some gold for us to take away, it's the gold, because that is going to help him thrive in an environment like New York if he gets traded here. Put out the noise, focus on the message, focus on what's actually happening. And so what's the takeaway for you and for I? Obviously, he's a great young man. Obviously, he's an excellent talent. Obviously, he's not a superstar, and I think that serves him because he could be one, but he's not there yet. Obviously, he's someone who could have demanded a trade earlier, but he didn't. He didn't wreck that franchise in Utah. Like, obviously, there's so many good things about it, but what does it mean for you and for me? What are the things that we can take away? And I think it's this right here. This is a guy who had a dad who was present in his life. A dad who was challenging him to be the best version of him. And you know what? That's a gift that a lot of us, you know, I'm blessed to have, but a lot of people are not blessed to have that. And it just speaks again to the importance of fathers. You know, we can be out here and do everything we want for us. You can grind, you can rise, you can climb every rung of every ladder in whatever industry you're in. But at the end of your life, you're going to have what? Nothing. None of us take any of this into the next life. But if we think about our life now as creating an easier path or a higher starting point or a further starting line for the ones that are coming behind us, man, that is what I think that we should be focused on. I think my personal development or personal growth or hustle or grind or fight, the purpose of it should be so that my kids can go further faster than I could. Maybe you don't have kids. You got a community. Maybe you got nephews or nieces, or you got brothers or sisters or people that look up to you. Maybe you don't. And this is the time where you can shift and change and be a role model, be someone who can make a way easier for somebody else. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell is the star that he is if his dad didn't play minor league ball. His dad didn't go to the pros. This is the message right here. His dad didn't go to the pros, but Donovan is a pro. And so listen, maybe you're not a ball player. Maybe you're not going to be a CEO of this or of that. But listen, you have dreams that might happen through the ones that are coming behind you. And listen, I think that that's more of a legacy than some of the ways that we talk about the word legacy, especially as it pertains to sports. So listen, I hope that this helped you change your focus a little bit on why you're working hard, why you're getting up and grinding at your job that you might hate, why you're doing the hard things that you're doing, why you're walking the straight and narrow when everybody else is pretty much just like, que sera, sera, whatever happens, happens, let's go for it. Like there's a purpose to this, and it's that you're going to make a way easier for somebody coming behind you. And maybe that's your kid. Maybe you're the father or the mother or whoever that you didn't have. You could be that for somebody else. So those are the types of things that I watch, I hear, I see this happening and unfolding in the sports world. These are the types of things that I want to pull out and apply to my life, how I want to make myself a better person. These are the bigger life themes that we should be pulling out of this stuff, man. And so listen, if you're still watching at this point, you're a real one. I bet it's no surprise. I want the Knicks to trade for Donovan Mitchell. I hope that they get it done, and I hope it doesn't cost us everything. But I trust our front office to make the right deals for our team, and I'm going to support them anyway. And so, for you, I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope this video meant a lot to you. If it did, let me know by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the like button, and dropping a comment down below. We only got a few weeks left till the season starts, and I'm getting excited. I hope you are too. Let's go, Knicks.